MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide number 7, Part 1. This is MacVoices. MacVoices is sponsored by Upstart, fair and fast personal loans. Go to upstart.com/MacVoices and find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments. Welcome to MacVoices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, this is MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide number 7, Part 1, our final set of gift guides for 2021. And in keeping with the year that has been, we're doing something a little bit different and also out of necessity. Scheduling these guides is always a challenge because not only of the busy schedules of our panelists, but also because of the time zone involved, especially for our transatlantic friends. So as a result, we found 4 people who still have been consistently responding and wanting to participate, and it just didn't fit the schedule. Recorded their picks and mashing them all up into our final gift guide. I think you'll enjoy it. There will be 4 rounds with 4 panelists. That means our usual 16 plus picks because we always include things that maybe get mentioned as part of the conversation. So we're going to go right to it and get started with part 1 of gift guide number 7. Next up on this virtual gift guide is Rosemary Orchard. Rosemary, welcome. It's great to have you as part of this year.
Thank you. I've had a lot of fun the last couple of years, so I was really excited when you asked me back.
Well, I'm just sorry that we're having to do some folks virtually, and piece it together, but I wanted to make sure that anybody that wanted to gets to be part of this year's gift guide. So at least we get to see each other.
Yes, we do. And to be honest, that's a large chunk of the fun, isn't it? Sharing these ideas with at least one other person. And of course, there's all of the lovely viewers and listeners out there who will be listening and getting the benefit of that too.
Exactly. I guess you know the rules, you know how it goes. So what do you have for round 1?
Yeah, so I struggled a little bit to pick exactly what I was going to put in for round 1 because I wanted something that everybody could benefit from, whether or not they're into home automation. Because I know some people aren't really that into home automation. They're a little bit wary, perhaps, of it. And so I thought a little bit and realized the best possible thing that I can recommend for anybody who is into smart home automation or it wants to, maybe dip their toes into a little puddle of it is a smart power strip. And Meros make a really great one, which is compatible with Apple's HomeKit and therefore Siri. It's also compatible with the Amazon and Google ecosystem as well as SmartThings. And it's got 4 AC outlets and 4 USB ports on it. So this means that you can control each AC outlet individually as well as the USB ports together. This is great if you've got something like a Christmas tree and some lights because you can plug them all in and turn them all on and off as is appropriate. And so that is my very first recommendation.
That's a great recommendation. And I want to make sure that I heard that right. So this has multiple outlets and I can control them all each individually, not just one big power strip.
Exactly, yes. And there's 4 USB ports on there as well at the end. Those get controlled as a group. So you turn all the USB on or the USB off. But aside from that, everything's individually controlled, which is wonderful. And I really, really like the Meros stuff. I've bought it for friends and family several times now. And I've got a couple of theirs myself. So I feel I can give it a good recommendation.
And the inclusion of the USB ports is really interesting to me because we all are seeing more and more devices that charge by USB, but most of them don't come with the little charging block. You have to, Now we all have them laying around from years of iPhones and iPads and everything else. Yeah. But at the same time, it's really nice that they do that and then let that be controlled as a group.
Yes, exactly. Because this way you can, plug in perhaps, phones or similar to charge them or Kindles or whatever, but also maybe you've got some USB powered lights. I certainly have some USB powered lights around that I use as studio lighting from time to time. So it's really nice to be able to just turn those on and turn those back off again as a group. So that works pretty nicely.
Excellent pick. Our next guest on our MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide, the virtual version of our Holiday Gift Guide, is Mr. Bart Busschots. Bart, welcome. It's great to see you.
Chuck, I am genuinely delighted because it just wouldn't be Christmas if I didn't get to come on here and tell people to spend money. It wouldn't be right.
I know, and I feel bad, that unfortunately the scheduling has been crazy. I think everybody's extra busy this year for some reason, and then there's this little matter of time zones between you and me that make it even extra difficult.
That is true. And I was joking with you in the pre-show that this way it doesn't cost me money, because the last time I was on, Charles Edge cost me a bloody fortune with his fantastic suggestions.
Well, if you look at Charles's suggestions, he'll kind of do the same thing.
Cost me a fortune again.
Careful. Yeah. And well, it seems like I always end up spending money on these gift guides because it's like, I've been looking for one of those, or I didn't know that exists, but now I can't do without it. So it's just that's the
danger. That is the danger.
Yeah. That's also part of the fun, right?
True.
I think, yes. What's this beard thing you have? I mean, are you?
I decided, in your honor, I would have my Santa T-shirt. So it's a full, see, big belt, big shiny, and a beard. So I've all Santa'd up for you. There you go.
Thank you. I'm flattered.
If I had a hat, I'd wear it, but
Yeah. Well, okay, so he of the Santa T-shirt. What's your first pick for this year's holiday gift guide?
So my first pick, so you sent me the list of everything I wasn't allowed to pick because it had been picked before, and the thing I was most excited about was on the list. And the thing I was second most excited about was on the list. But don't worry. So the biggest thing for me in 2021, we are 21, was that I moved house. And so having a house of my own to kit out as I wanted, I decided to go all in on AirPlay 2. I just wanted to be able to walk around the house and have the noise of my choice come out everywhere, or only here and here. I just wanted my audio everywhere seamlessly, no Bluetooth. So I wanted AirPlay 2, but I didn't want my house to spy on me. So I didn't want A Lady. And in the kitchen, I was like, I want S Lady, but only in the kitchen. So I was going to pick the little cool HomePod Minis, but they were picked. So I didn't get to do that. And then one of the other rooms that was great fun to try find something for was the bathroom, so that I can listen in the shower. And I wanted something waterproof. So I thought, aha, the Sonos Roam. That was picked. But don't worry. So in all the rooms apart from the kitchen and the bathroom, I have put Sonos One SLs. And what makes them the SL is that they have no mic. So it's the same as the Sonos One, but without the mic and without $30. So you get $30 less, or 30 euros actually for me, 30 euros less money, and it's exactly the same big square speaker as the Sonos One. And they are gorgeous sound. They have an Ethernet port, so in the rooms you have Ethernet, you can just stick an Ethernet jack in the back of them. And in the rooms where you don't have Ethernet, they work really well on your Wi-Fi. And they come in black and white, no orange like Apple did. But they are I'm very, very pleased with them. They work seamlessly.
Bart, I didn't even know that Sonos made these. I mean, I guess for no real good reason. I've just paid only attention to the way that I've used my Sonos. I didn't know they made one, though, without a mic.
Yeah, I went looking. I sort of, what I stuck into Google was AirPlay 2 no mic. And the Sonos One SL came up. And it's actually quite hard to find on the Sonos site because they really push you towards the Sonos One or the Roam. But the SL is in there and it's 30 euros less. So it's €199. So I'm guessing similar enough in dollars probably for you.
That's fascinating. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And
I have white ones. I have white ones in the rooms with white furniture and black ones in the rooms with black furniture. And it's my house. It's the first time I got to do this. So I went a bit nuts. But they really worked out so well for me. And, when I have the house to myself and I need to clean or something, I can just make sound everywhere. Like, just everywhere. And I can just leave my phone wherever I want. And my podcasts are everywhere. It's so pleasing.
This is really interesting to me. And the Sonos Ones, I've got some Sonos Ones, and they sound, as you said, phenomenal.
Yeah.
And so,
they're room filling, like.
Yeah, but the ability to have them and not have to worry about, as you said, the considerations that you had is even better. And you save money on top of it.
Exactly. And then in the kitchen, I went with the Apple option because if I'm going to have something I can shout at, I'd like it to have a business model where I'm the customer, not the product, which to me means Apple. And the HomePod Minis were finally released in Europe this year. And so as soon as they were, I snapped up a pair. So I have a stereo pair of those in the kitchen because the kitchen is a kitchen dining room, so it's quite large. And so the stereo pair fills it perfectly. And they're perfect too. And they all, because it's AirPlay 2, they all play nice. the Sonos stuff, the Apple stuff, it plays nice together. So it's perfect.
Oh, that's very nice. That's very nice. Great pick, and right out of left field, because again, I didn't even know this particular model existed.
They're also expensive. I may have cost you a lot of money.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't be the
Anyway.
first one this year. No, great pick. So next up on the first round of this virtual Mac Voices Gift Guide panel is Mr. Frank Petrie. Frank, welcome. It's good to see you. We've missed you on Mac Voices Live.
Good evening, Chuck. Well, it's I wish I could say I was touring the world, but no, we had some other business to take care of for the last 3 months.
Hey,
But I was going to come back on this past show, but you were traveling. So hopefully next week
all right, great.
I'll come in and go, who are these people?
Yeah. Well, we all kind of do that every time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to participate in this year's gift guide because
I appreciate being invited.
It wouldn't have been it without you. So let's just dive right in and go for round one. What do you have for round one?
Okay, for round one, anybody that's worked on a Mac at any given point, I'm sure, has tried the Pomodoro Method. And what it is, it's just, for those that don't know, it's actually based off a cooking timer. And what it is on average, you're supposed to work 25 minutes. You take off 5, clear your head completely of what you're doing. Go back to another 25, and you'll do 5 segments, and then you get a half-hour break. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but when I'm doing my writing, if I get in the zone, that timer goes off. And for that 5 minutes, I'm thinking of what I'm going to write when I get back on the computer. So I haven't taken a break at all, really. So I found this neat little object. It's called the Mesmo Globe. And what it is, it's this thing, I think in the U.S., let's see. In the U.S., you can buy it in silver and copper. And in the EU, you can only get it in bronze and gold. And what it is it's a sphere, and they've etched into it a spiral. And what you do is you spin it, and you can watch the spiral just go up. You turn it the other way, the spiral comes down. And there's just something so sort of hypnotic about it that it's the only way I can empty my head out. I mean, you turn this thing and you find yourself coming up with stupid little challenges like, can I make that thing go faster? Can I make it go slower? Can I spin it without it flying off the friggin' desk? I mean, it's just, it really is a thing that you're almost like a 5-year-old. It captures your attention and it pulls you away from what you're thinking. And yet, the thing that I find most amazing about it is when you're done with the 5 minutes, I'll keep the timer going. After that 5 minutes, I'll go back in. I'm still in the zone. There's something that's just, I don't know, like they call it the Mesmo Globe. There's something mesmerizing about it. Plus, I just saw they came out with some other objects. Now, you know how when you spin a penny on a table and you watch for the last 10 seconds, it does that little wobble? They just released a disc that purportedly, now I haven't seen that used and they don't have a video. Purportedly, you spin it, it will do that little flip-flop for 12 minutes. And you can just sit and stare at it. And it's one of those things that's, I don't know, you know how some things just attract your attention, as mindless as they could be, for some reason you have to stare at it. And you think of nothing else. So Mesmo Globe would be my first pick. I think it's a fantastic little thing. It started as a Kickstarter thing. And now they have their own site. And it's reasonably priced. It's $35.
This is an interesting pick to me, just because it doesn't apply to me. I have not found that they benefit me, but I know a lot of our friends are into all the little fidget gadgets, whether it's a fidget spinner,
Yes,
or some of the little things, a little switch, an AB switch that controls absolutely nothing. It's just you click it back and forth, and there's something that is I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. I'm not well versed enough in the technology of it, the psychology of it. But
that's the weird thing about it.
This sounds like something that falls into that category, and your particular use is really interesting, because I practice the Pomodoro Method, and I know what you mean. My bigger challenge is, just taking that 5-minute break and not starting another project. Just truly taking 5 minutes and breaking. So this might be something that might help me a little bit.
The funny thing about it is it reminds me of an old George Carlin bit where he said, all you have to do to amuse a guy is dangle something shiny in front of him. And these things are like highly polished. Plus you got that thing going up and down.
Yeah.
Why that becomes so captivating, I don't know. But it does break me away from going, okay, I've ended with this sentence. I'm going to have to now go into this section. I end up just going on and doing what I got to do.
Great first round pick. Something we haven't seen before. Joining us now for this year's MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide is Mr. Mike Potter, the man behind MacStock. Mike, good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Oh, great to see you too, Chuck. I love doing these holiday gift guides. Thanks for having me on again.
Well, I'm just sorry, this year it seems like it's a crazy year and everybody's schedules don't always put together. And so some of the folks who we just couldn't match up, we decided we're just going to do solo and pull them into one show and let anyone who still wants to play away. That's part of the game. So it's great to have you.
Yeah, it's a MacVoices patchwork quilt of holiday gift guides.
I hadn't thought about it exactly that way, but that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, see?
So this will be round one for you. So what are you going to kick us off with?
Ooh, round one. Okay, so every year what I tend to do with these gift guides is kind of pick things I've recently purchased for myself, and I try to pick things that are fun and pick things that are practical. So I have a little mix of practical versus fun as we go through my gift guide picks this year. I'm going to start with a practical one. This came about, I purchased this. I'll show you what it is in just a moment. I purchased this because I was recently, I'm going to use the word forced to purchase a new iPhone. Now, I know everybody says, now, come on, Mike, you're not forced to, you wanted that new iPhone. Well, I really didn't want a new iPhone, but I had to buy a new iPhone because my old iPhone battery just suddenly went through the floor. So I purchased an iPhone 13. One of the cool things about the iPhone 13 is the MagSafe on the back of it. This is awesome. I didn't realize how awesome this was until I got this phone. Now, this is obviously a MagSafe case I have on there, but I didn't realize how cool that was. Now, one of the problems I've always had is mounting my phone in the car. And I thought this was a perfect opportunity to buy all new accessories for myself. So I did. I bought all new accessories for myself. And the first accessory I bought is something that I'm going to be using all the time because I use navigation in the car on my phone. And this is the Halo Lock magnetic wireless car charger. All right. So I took it out of the box here for you. I've actually used this on a trip already, so I can vouch that this works really, really well. But this is a MagSafe compatible vent mount. Now, I know not everybody likes vent mount, but I'll tell you why I like this particular vent mount in just a moment. But it's a vent mount magnetic MagSafe compatible mount for the car. One of the things I like about this is that it is a ball and socket joint on the back of it. So it will move around very freely as it's mounted in the car, and then you can lock it in place with the little ring and back, and it holds. It holds really, really well once it's in the mount. The other thing I like about it is that, like other vent mounts, it does clip onto your vent, but it's got this cool little foot on the bottom that has various angles it snaps to. How do you like that sound effect? Various angles that it snaps to, so that once it's clipped onto the vent, you can angle this just right so that it rests either on the dash of your car or inside another one of the vents to give it some extra stability. And that was always a problem with the vent mounts that I've used in the past, is that they just weren't stable. That, the vents want to flap up and down. And this little extra foot, as simple as that is, this little extra foot, let me see if I can show you better. This little extra foot does a world of good to help keep this thing stable and in place. Now, obviously, your vents have to be compatible with this kind of thing, but because it's on the ball and socket, you can adjust it to various different types of vents that you might have in the car. This does have a USB-C. This is a charger as well. Did I mention that? It's not just a mount, it's a charger. So it does have a USB-C port on the bottom of it, and it includes the cable. Now, I thought that was pretty cool. It includes the cable. And the other thing that it includes, I thought this was really cute. The other thing that it includes is a handy dandy little guide with cute little drawings in here. Cute little drawings to show you the best way to use the mount, but more importantly, the right type of car charger to purchase to ensure that your phone charges properly when it's mounted to the charger. Now, the other thing I like about this is you'll notice the shape. It's square. Very often, these type of chargers, the vent mount chargers, are rectangular so that they match up with the back of your phone here. But what's cool about this is it will hold the phone securely no matter which way you rotate it on here, and you don't have to line it up in any special way to assure it stays secure and stable in the mount. So I really like that. Now, of course, your phone, if it's an iPhone 12 or iPhone 13, is already compatible with it. If you have a case, you have to have a MagSafe compatible case. But otherwise, I really just, I love this. We traveled 2,000 miles with this on the dash of the car and never had a problem, never dropped the phone. It kept it stable the entire time. And it was easy to adjust while I was driving in case I couldn't quite see the maps or what have you as I was tooling down the road. There are a couple things about this I thought I should mention that I don't like. I mentioned it comes with the appropriate cable, but one thing it does not come with is the appropriate charger. So if you are buying this as a gift for someone, I went through, as you tend to do on Amazon, I went through a ton of different chargers, read a ton of different reviews. I've purchased items from this place before. I guess this is kind of a little bonus gift. It's the SyncWire Mini Metal Fast Charging Car Charger. And that's what I ended up purchasing. Oop, that's right. All right, where are we? There we are. Okay, that's what I ended up purchasing to go along with this. It's unfortunate it doesn't come with it. The car charger is $35. I think the suggested retail is $45. For $35 or $45, they probably could have included the car charger with it, but I get why they don't. A lot of cars have charging ports in them, and it might just be extra for a bunch of people. But in my case, I needed one, so that's what I ended up with, was the SyncWire car charging port. Now, the one other thing I'm going to mention real quick about this is because this is ball and socket, and because you can loosen the nut on the back of this, you can pull it off the ball. And on my other car, I have a dash-mounted ball and socket mount. So I can take this, pop it right onto the existing mount in my other car, and it holds just great. So it's very portable from one device to another without using the vent adapter if you happen to have one of those ball mounts already in your car. So that is the ESR Halo deck. I keep wanting to say Holo deck, but the Halo deck magnetic wireless car charger, $35 on Amazon. And I really enjoy it. I like it a lot.
So, Mike, you're scaring me a little bit because now you've cost me money in the first round. Because like you,
Excellent.
iPhone 13, I've been making the transition to MagSafe, and one of the big holes in my whole system has been a vent mount that I like. I've tried several. They, for various reasons, not the least of which is that the phone falls off, which is never a good thing. So I now you've got me wanting to try this because I've just been very dissatisfied. I had a vent mount that I loved, but it was not MagSafe. So now I've got to go and try this. So good job. Great pick, and thank you for costing me money.
Well, if you're talking about your phone falling off, it will not fall off of this. I did purchase the Apple MagSafe battery for the back of my phone, and it's okay, but it doesn't grip super well to the back of the phone. This really does. I mean, this phone is not coming off, and so I really like this charger for that reason alone.
Great pick. Great first pick. MacVoices is sponsored by Upstart, fast and fair personal loans. Go to upstart.com/MacVoices and find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments. If you are carrying a credit balance month after month, it can feel like you are on a never-ending cycle of debt. Upstart can help you make that final payment so that you can get ahead. Upstart is the fast and easy way to pay off all your debt with a personal loan, and it's all done online. Upstart is different from other lenders because they know that you are more than just your credit score. Upstart considers your income and current employment to find you a smarter rate for your loan. And it doesn't take days or weeks. A quick 5-minute online rate check lets you see your rate upfront for loans between $1,000 and $50,000. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/MacVoices. That's upstart.com/MacVoices. Don't forget to use my URL so they know I sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Go to upstart.com/MacVoices right now and get your debt under control. Thanks to Upstart for supporting MacVoices. Rosemary, what do you have for part 2 for us?
Well, part 2, I thought everybody wants to have a bit of fun. And, this is the ideal time of the year to get a puzzle that you can try and solve. And what better than the classic puzzle of a Rubik's Cube? Only, of course, this is me. So I found the Gocube Edge, and I have one of these, and I've been playing with it for a good couple of weeks now. I absolutely love it. It is a smart Bluetooth-connected Rubik's Cube that you pair with your phone or your iPad. It's got an app. And when you actually rotate any of the sides, it shows you doing that in the app as well. It's got tutorials to walk you through on how to solve each section so that you can learn patterns and things like that and figure out how to solve, for example, the white cross first. So you start by making a daisy, which is you put the 4 white edge pieces around the yellow part, and then you rotate and flip them until they're in the right place on the white face. And I really love the interactivity of the app, and as you rotate the individual pieces, it really does show you what you're doing. And if you do it wrong, it shows you that you've done it wrong and how to correct what you've just done. And of course, because it's Rubik's Cube, everyone likes to be able to cheat. There's a solve mode in there too.
I was waiting, knowing you and home automation, I was waiting for you to tell me there was an way to automate the solving of the Rubik's Cube.
Well, they figured out how to tell you how to solve it. The Rubik's Cube itself doesn't move to solve it for you, but it is a way, it does show you how you can solve it with exactly what moves you need to make to do so. And it's all written down in really lovely, simple notation, which is all explained to you every time. So usually, because for every side of the Rubik's Cube or corner, there's 4 that you need to do. So it'll usually walk you through the first 3 and then try and get you to do the 4th one on your own. But there's a little cheat sheet in there where you can get some extra help if you want or need it.
I love this. I've played with Rubik's Cubes, and I've tried to follow the directions and try to learn how to solve them. And being a tech person, I guess I'm documentation challenged because I never seem to do it right. So the fact that this could not only watch me, but tell me when I'm doing it wrong and how to fix it, there's a lot of appeal to that.
Yes. So they also do a smaller 2x2 version of this, which is great perhaps for younger kids. But I have to say, I bought the full-size Rubik's Cube, and I've been really enjoying it. They've got a couple of different models and some accessories, but it comes with a little or a little stand, a charger that you can put into the back of it that just plugs into USB. So you can recharge your Rubik's Cube ready for future puzzle solving. But I have to say, the battery life is very good. I've yet to charge mine, and I've been playing with it an awful lot.
Thank you for making that clear. So you don't just have any Rubik's Cube, you have theirs, which makes perfect sense to make it connect to the app.
Yes, exactly. So it's a Bluetooth one, but there is an extra bonus. When you've completely solved it, it lights up and flashes a little bit just to let you know that you're fully done.
Got it. Okay, great. Okay, Bart, I'm afraid to ask what you're going to get in round 2 because is this going to cost me money too?
I've done them in descending order of cost. So everything now is less than €200.
Good. So it won't cost me as much money. Is that what you're saying,
No,
Bart?
It won't cost you as much. So the other thing, one of the most important rooms in this house to kit out has been the home office. 2 years ago, I don't think I would have assumed a home office was a must-have feature. But no, it's proven to be a must-have feature for the entirety of the time I've lived in this house. And one of the things I need to do is I need to be able to see my phone and charge my phone and control my phone all at the same time while I'm sitting at my desk. And thanks to the magic of the new Magsafe, there actually are some nice docks out there. And Belkin do one that does the iPhone, the Apple Watch, and your AirPods all in one go. It is the Belkin 3-in-1 Power Boost, and it is just... Well, it comes in black and white, and it does exactly what it says in the tin. You put your AirPods here, phone here, watch here, and it's all charged nicely together. And they sell them on Apple.com. They're not the world's cheapest stand, but there may be 3 of them in this house. So that's how much I like them.
You really have gone all out of this whole house thing, haven't you?
Yes. Well, okay, so 2 of them are mine. I have one in the office and one in the kitchen. And then my darling beloved was like, well, if you get a nice iPhone stand, why don't I get a nice iPhone stand? Okay, 3rd iPhone stand.
Bart, I've looked at so many of the iPhone stands, and I'm still in the process of making the transition over to MagSafe. So one of my things is, what do I want where do I want my phone and my watch to live overnight?
Yeah.
And one other thing too, we probably need to be real clear on is this means you have to have a MagSafe charging case for your AirPods.
It does, yes. And I did choose to spend the extra money for the MagSafe case because when I bought my AirPods, that wasn't standard. You had to pay the extra for it. Is it standard now? I think not sure now. Sure.
Yeah.
I'm guessing myself.
That's the one accessory I haven't made MagSafe yet. But some of the docks that are out there make me say, it's time I need to make that upgrade.
Yeah.
Or wait for the next version.
To be honest, I don't have one of these in the bedroom. I have one in the kitchen and I have one in the office. And it's because it displays the phone so well for interacting with while it's charging. And so sitting next to you in the office, you really want to be able to tap on the phone, especially because obviously the phone is going over AirPlay 2 to the speakers and everything. And so if a Teams call comes in, I want to be able to quickly silence, make Ken Race shut up, It's great. Just do it on command. Bye, Ken. Yeah. I do quite a lot of exercise. My Apple Watch is a few years old. It doesn't last the full day. And if I don't have something right in front of me, I will forget. And then I will go for my cycle after work and it will say 40%. And I'll be like, that may not be up to the full workout. And I'll be all cranky. Whereas with the stand there, phone goes on, watch goes on. It's all good.
So I could point out that you could have bought less of these and maybe gotten an upgraded watch, but, where's the fun in that?
Well, it wasn't my turn, is the honest answer. There is a Series 7 watch in this house, but it was not my turn.
I see. Okay.
Whatever the Series 8 is, it will be my turn. But I sat this one out.
Got it. Yeah, MagSafe has been a popular MagSafe something has been a popular choice this year. You know, I feel like it started out slow, but it's really coming on as people adopt it more and more, or they buy or upgrade phones, watches, AirPods, whatever it is, to take advantage of it.
And I'm really glad we stopped calling it wireless charging, because it's not wireless. What it is just quick and easy drop it and forget it charging. Because it still has a wire. Like, I mean, I'm waving this thing about, but you know something? I won't charge a thing now because the USB cable is missing from its bottom. So it's not cordless, but the ease, and I mean, Qi is very easy to get wrong. You put it down and it doesn't charge. I've had Qi charging pads and I haven't been particularly happy with them. But with the MagSafe from Apple, the magnets are so assertive. You won't miss. You can't miss. And it's a very, very pleasing big icon that comes up when the thing homes itself. It's perfect. And actually, this one, the magnets are dual oriented, so you can have the phone in portrait or landscape and it will snap to either. And it will snap nice and assertively to the horizontal or the vertical. It's extremely pleasing, actually. It's not just Qi, it's well more than Qi.
Okay, so you didn't necessarily cost me money there, but you gave me another tick in Belkin's direction for what I eventually settle on. So you sort of help spend some money, maybe. We'll see.
I aim to please.
Okay, Frank, round 2. What do you got? You're going to be able to top what you had in round 1?
Well, yeah, this one's actually more of a real thing that you used with your equipment. This is from 12 South. It's the Hoverbar Duo. Now, the Hoverbar Duo it's got an amazing, almost like shark jaw clamping of your iPad. Now, it's really articulated, so you can go every which way you want with it. You can have it face level, so if you're doing like, a conference call or a Zoom call or something, or FaceTime, you can bring it low to read it. You can bring it low to draw on it if you want. It's got on the base, it's a real heavy base, so it's not going anywhere, even if you put a 12.9 in this. And I'd like to meet the person that could put a 12.9 in it, because to spread those jaws apart would be insane. But because of, like, if you put it in landscape mode, there's no way you can leave the pencil on it. They put they etched a little like gully in the base, so you can put your pencil there and it won't roll off the table. Absolutely fascinating. You can twist it around and watch it in landscape mode or portrait mode. The other thing, though, that's really interesting about it is you can take that off and separate it from the stand. And it also comes with a clamp. So you could go, let's say, into your kitchen and you're going to cook something and you're watching a recipe, right? Or some cooking class or something. You can clamp this thing to the bottom of your cabinet and have it hang. And it will just hold your iPad there. So you can put this thing anywhere you want. Now, the only problem I've had, and I haven't really found anything on the site yet about it, is I just went from an iPad Air 4 down to an iPad Mini. Now, the iPad Mini works perfect in landscape mode, but I've noticed that if you put it in portrait mode, it sometimes will slide a little, which of course is, you don't want to see that. But otherwise, I mean, there's like so many ways you can articulate this thing, and it's a beast. It really does weigh a ton.
Well, and you need it to if you're going to put, especially up to a 12.9 iPad in it. It better do that.
Well, that's the beauty of it. You can push it as close to you as you want, as far back as you want. So, I mean, just you think of the angle, you could do it. It's got, let's see, there's one joint at the base, there's one joint in the middle, there's another joint right behind the thing so you can tilt it any way you want. It's also on I think there's a bearing on the base, so you can also swing it and stuff. But the thing's amazing, and it goes for $100. Now this one's pricier. This is about $80.
Yeah,
But it's 12 South, and 12 South makes some really, solid stuff.
well, and Frank, you kind of took my comment right out of my head, because I know that you can find cheaper ones, but I don't.
And they tend to do this.
Right. And especially with the new iPads, and the Pro levels, you're paying for quality, and I never mind paying for quality, because that way I know. And
Sure.
As you said, 12 South, they've made a number of different appearances here in this year's gift guides for different products. And they always do great stuff. So yeah, great pick. And this is one more way that, especially in the world we're living in right now, that your iPad can become a whole lot more versatile, especially if you're doing video conferences. Now you no longer you don't necessarily have to tie up your Mac to do the video conference. Your Mac can be free to do other things while the iPad is doing video conference duty. So
I remember a friend contacted me recently on Facebook with his iPad, and here I've got this stand. So you're looking at me straight on. He was lounging on the chair, and so you're looking up his nose. You're seeing the ceiling and all this. It was just so weird. It's like, have you lost all interest in everything, or what?
Yeah. I agree. I agree, and that's. We could do a whole show on just the mistakes that people make with video conferencing. But
because I have a degree in film and video, I constantly, when I watch shows, I'm like, I just get upset over the most basic rules that I was taught that you need to do. People don't do, and it drives me nuts. And I find myself almost screaming at the camera, going, why are your eyes down the bottom third of the screen? Why does it look like a Piper Cub can fly over your head? I don't get it.
Yep, right there with you. And so the Hoverbar Duo will solve that problem for you, folks. Then you can...
Oh, exactly.
It doesn't matter whether you're standing, sitting, or how you want to use this. It will put your that camera right at the exact height. And then, as Frank said, you can articulate it. So, good second pick, even if pricey or not. That's what we need.
Okay.
Mike, round 2. Are you going to cost me money this time again?
I don't know if this will cost you money or not. This is a bit of a fun pick. You need to have the right person in your life for this particular pick. And I've had this for a long time, but it's still available. I'm gonna bring it over here. I have it plugged in just so I can show you. Okay. Now, what makes this little blue police box special? It's a USB hub. That's what makes it special right there. There's 4 USB ports on it. And nicely, it makes those special effects every time you plug something into it. Okay, that can get kind of annoying. But the really nice thing is that there's a little switch on the back, and you can turn it off. Let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, you can just turn it off, and then when you plug stuff into it, it just flashes the light on top. It doesn't make the sound effects. But if you like to have a little TARDIS whooshing sound in your life, keep that switch turned on, and every time you plug in a device, it'll play the little demo sound. All right. So, all right, shut up.
That is so geeky, and I love it.
That is super geeky. Now, I told you I had it for a long. I'm going to just go away. All right. So that's really cool. But I said I've had it for a long time. Here's the one downside. The upsides are that it's a 4-port hub. Cool. Lights and sound when devices are plugged in. Super cool. Sound can be disabled. Awesome. But it's a USB 1 hub. So that's kind of a problem. And unfortunately, it seems that it still is. But it does work great for keyboards, mice, the little wireless dongles if you have a wireless keyboard. devices that don't draw power, printers, and anything that you can plug in and use. It still works great for. In fact, I have my Logitech MX Keys keyboard adapter plugged into it, and it works great. Besides that, it just looks good on the desk. The little blue light is on all the time. And so you're just reminded, a little reminder of Doctor Who as you're working throughout the day. It's $30. It's still available on Amazon. It's not Prime. It's a third-party seller, $30 plus shipping. And I checked, and it's still out there. So kind of a neat gift if you have a Doctor Who fan in your life, or if you are a Doctor Who fan and just want to have your own little police box on the desk.
So I love the fact that you have found a way to make a USB 1 hub useful.
Yes,
I mean that is great, because you must truly be a dedicated Doctor Who fan, because when you said that, it's like, okay, well, I'm out. Then you started describing how you're using it. It's like, yeah, that could work. That could work. So yeah.
Well, you plug it in. So the way I use it is I have it plugged into one of the USB ports in the back of my monitor, and it allows me to plug any of those USB 1 devices that would otherwise be taking up ports on my Mac into my TARDIS hub, into my TARDIS hub, and keep, only be using one port, because my monitor is using one port on the computer. I'm using one of the ports on the monitor. The hub gives me 4 additional ports. It doesn't require any additional power or power adapters or anything. So it takes care of all those little USB 1 devices that otherwise might be plugged into a USB 3 port, taking up a valuable slot on my Mac.
Well, and the other point is that, you're not sacrificing any performance for doing that either, No. And it's not the kind of thing that you necessarily, well, for obvious reasons, not just the USB 1, that you're going to be reaching over and plugging things into and out of all the time. So it's a perfect use case for something like that. And frankly, it gives me some ideas about some old USB hubs that I have in the basement, I could easily repurpose those.
And look, let's be honest, like you said, you're not going to recommend a USB 1 hub to anybody ever, unless it's a TARDIS.
Great second round pick. The panel will be back in the next edition of Mac Voices to wrap up our MacVoices Holiday Gift Guide number 7 and the final gift guide for 2021. I also want to remind you that links to everything can be found 3 different places. First, they can be found in the show notes for this episode. Second, they can be found on the master list on the MacVoices website. There's a link to that in the show notes. And finally, as you probably already know, we publish a Flipboard magazine with all our picks as well, so that you get a nice graphic representation as much as possible of the gift picks. And links to all of those are in our show notes. So until the next time, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is Mac Voices. Thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with Mac Voices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices, or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.